Hey guys, it's Chris, and today on Amiga Crap, what are we doing? We have two more packages in. I have this one all the way north in Canada. It's kind of heavy. I don't know what's in here. I'll have to look at the note. This comes to us from Mr. Ken. Mr. Ken, here is your repair, recap, update. I don't know. Now, just so you know, on this video, I'm actually recording another, almost sliced my face, I'm actually recording another video on the GoPro over here, kind of showing the behind the scenes of how I make YouTube videos. So if you're watching this one, you can watch that one to see the whole mess. And trust me, they're a mess. And you'll be like, dang, how does he do that? Well, that's how I do it. In a nutshell, I'm out of breath because right before I did this video, I had to run around and clean up, throw some stuff on the other side because it gets messy in here. And that camera's not showing everything. It's showing a lot, but it's not showing everything. My floor gets trashed, which is actually, you can see it now. Kind of nice. There are still 4 repairs here. And here we go. Inside I have a note, which I always ask for because I forget things. Oh, don't be mad. Hi Chris. Here is the MacII CI board we discussed via email. If you can manage it, I would like to have it recapped. It has a lot of sentimentality for me. It was part of a job that I really loved at the time. Ken. Mr. Ken in Canada. Thank you. I will keep your address out. So this is, that's why it's so heavy. This says cooling pad. So this is not an Amiga video. This is recapping a Macintosh 2. Should be all surface mounts, which are a piece of cake. Yep, sure enough. We got 3 radials. Have those in stock, at least the big ones. I don't know about the small one. Might have to order them 1, 2, 3, 4, 10 small caps. Lorraine and Bobbitt's going to be making a visit to the Mac side too, going to the dark side. That way we could recap this board. The battery in this one, just like Amigas, they have those PRAM half AA turds. They can crap out too. I even have a new PRAM battery for that, but I can't ship batteries international for some reason out of America. I can, but it costs more. This board looks to be in very good condition, but I have not the good glasses on, okay? So what we're going to do is I am going to forget to put my grounding strap on my ankle. It is right here. There we go. And I'm going to put it on my foot like I always do. Now, since I've been eating so much fried chicken, the bracelet's a little tight on a brother. So I've moved it to my foot. You normally do Amiga videos. Well, I was just asked to do this. So, if in need, I will help. Let me switch glasses to my slightly larger pair. GoPro, hope you're hanging out over there. We're going to slop out the Commodore hat for the helmet. Whoa! Helmet of Cooper. 16 470s all around. 16 220s. Our caps are leaking. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Now I'm going to zoom into the old Mac dark side here. I'm going to show you what I mean by caps leaking. Surface mount bad boys right here. You see all that dark scuzz and gross? Yeah, they have leaked and gone the way of the yuck. That's why Lorena's going to help us. Don't be twisting the old caps off. Told you 100 times. So what I'm going to do is the same old method. I'm going to do it on this small cap here. The you-know-who pro keeps turning off when I say certain words. So this is a super small capacitor. You go in. I can start with this one. I'm going to do this one since it's easy right here. I'm sorry I'm left-handed, so it's tough for the camera to see, but I'm going to go in sideways. I've shown this method before. I push down on the cap and just give it a quick snip. What that does is that cuts. Missed the whole thing, huh? Cut the top off, and you see those 2 aluminum circles, right? Now, there is an aluminum cap with a rubber gasket seal, okay? And there's a piece of plastic underneath of that. What you want to do is take the aluminum off. It should come off pretty easy, okay? Shit. Alright, so I pick off the aluminum. Sorry, my hand's in the way. So I've picked off the aluminum. It's literally a rubber gasket. Now, on the Commodore Amiga series, I love to just take my time and I double snip. The reason is, and I'll show you on a Mac, and you lift up on this, and you see how this doesn't come off easily? Well, it's because you got these two fat nipples here. Go in again and snip off these things, okay? And then it gives you a clear cap, and you saw the plastic piece just popped right up. That's what you're looking for. You're looking for it to just come off and drop right on your belly, just like that. You throw it in the trash, and you can have a capacitor legs that are still attached, but you save your solder points. If I was to twist this cap, give it the old twisty nipple, what could happen is I could actually pull the trace right off, or the pad right off, because I'm impatient or something else. I don't want to, you know, I'm just trying to get it off using the old digital basement way. Don't do that. Use Lorena Bobbitt. Sometimes she's your friend. Even on the big guys. Push down on this cap just to hold it. One move, give it a snip. Nothing should come out because they're dry. You see it's just cut off here. You see the electrodes. Again, peel off your aluminum retainer and the rubber piece, right? The rubber piece is attached to the legs. And then there you go. And then you're going to clip the nipples off, and the plastic piece should come literally right up. And there you go. And then what you'll do is you'll do normal debraiding, and we'll get the solder kit, and I'll knock the camera over, and we'll be set. So let me reset here because something's going on upstairs, and all I hear is yelling and screaming. Got an air fryer. You can see by the fries on my desk. That's dinner. It is 7:20 p.m. I had to take a breather for a while, run to the old Wally World to get the air fryer for my daughter. So where we left off was I was Lorena Bobbiting caps off, and I did the one right here. I'm going to flux it, then remove the heads. As you can see here, the legs came out clean. This is just some flux residue, but the legs on this chip right here, this HC133A, are a little crusty. So what I'm going to do with that is first, I'm going to zoom the hell out. First I'm going to clean it. Isopropyl alcohol and Q-tip brand cotton swabs. Green as the bottom of the sea. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a fiberglass pen and just kind of go over those legs. Again, IPA on a cotton swab. Now this is a Mac and there's nothing wrong with that. Any classic computer is great. I just want to show you the aftermath of doing that cleanup. Look at that. See how that looks so much better? Even on all of these leg traces, and these especially were green as the board. There was also some superficial damage here and here. There's a little bit left on here. I didn't really scrub that too much. There is a trace below here. Once I get this cap off, I'll do a continuity test to this point just to make sure we're still good in case I need to run a wire if needed, but so far so good. This is a 68030, 25 megahertz, just like an Amiga 3000. This is a 1989 Apple board. You can see right here, Apple computer, 1989. Now she is dual-sided, but it's just ceramics on the bottom, and I don't see any damage. I do see one extensively long leg right here on a capacitor that I'm going to give the old Lorena to. I'm not going to bore you with an entire recap because I have some French fries and cold ketchup with my name on them, so I'm going to be plowing down those. I'll report back in a second, or if I find any significant damage, we can go over a before and after. While Apple didn't use the same crappy solder that Commodore did, they did use the same crappy capacitors, and as you can see basically right here in this big pile of turds, that is pretty bad, dude. So a little cleanup goes a long way, and just that quick lick and a slap looks a lot better to remove. You can see all the goop is gone, and it's just the legs. Let me get the legs off and we'll come back and do an after. Well, again, there's the after. Wipe this area and scrub off the flux. Look at that. That's just flux and dookie. But no traces were lost, and now I can continuity trace this pin that I've been wanting to do. So Apple in all of its glory doesn't use ground plane, they use ground lines. They share a common ground point. This is the ground for this cap and this cap, but both have been cut right at the line to the pad. So I'm going to drag some solder and test. If that doesn't work, I'll do a small bodge wire on hard wire. Okay, so it's been about 30 minutes or so. I washed the board with the Specialist Electronics contact cleaner just to get all the flux residue and crap off, and that also reveals damage. What do I mean? And even though this is an Apple product, we treat all retro computers the same. You can see some crust on the chips here. I'll go through and wash them out. A little bit of whiting on a couple of them. No real big deal. One up here near the audio circuit is kind of like It's really crusty underneath. I fiberglass penned them all. That's the residue you're seeing. There is a little bit of trace damage on this side. You can see that greening there. I am going to do the best I can to clean up any issues with the capacitors and make sure this board is functional. The idea of the flux cleaner spray contact cleaner is it flushes out underneath that chip too, and all that crap you're seeing is what was blown out of it. This was a chip that was heavily like cauterized with crust from the capacitor, and when I go over it with alcohol, you're going to see all the residue that I pick up off of it, and now they look nice again. So if you get some blowout underneath from your contact cleaner, it's just you're cleaning under the refrigerator basically without moving the refrigerator. You're going in there with an air hose and you're blowing it out, and all that crap's going on the floor. Wipe it up, mop the floor, you're good. Underneath doesn't look, it's not as clean. You might have a little bit of dust, but for the most part, you shot a fire hose under there and blew all those leaves out onto the street.
Are you stupid or something?
Now you gotta clean the street. And that's what I'm doing. Only 2 areas that I couldn't find ground connectors for. All the other ones seemed to be okay. This is all part of my life, daily life of a YouTuber. It is currently 8:30 p.m. Okay, so just like that, it's 10 after 9. Yep, 9:10 p.m. The capacitor job is done. I'm going to zoom in here and show you the work. Now, remember it was crusty before I cleaned it up. Several of the ground planes kind of pooped out. So, right here, I mark my caps with a Sharpie in red when I'm done with them so I don't screw them up. I still have to clean it. There's some crust flux around there. Several of these pins here, these are exposed copper. I had to kind of drag solder to the copper bus. I tested all the grounds. They're all good. 3 new Nichicon radials, axials. I didn't have another 470, so this got a SK. That is a Japanese brand. Old former Radio Shack guys. Those guys. SK capacitors. Good stuff. Japanese. Not Chinese. Japanese. Dirty knees. Look at these. That's about it. I found numerous chips that had barf underneath of them, and they all got cleaned up. I also time-lapsed and then real-time ran out of memory card. So that's the GoPro cutting off because I ran out of memory card. I time-lapsed and live filmed the entire event from a different angle. I'll post it like up there in that corner somewhere. Maybe it's been playing there the whole time. So that is a MacIntosh II CI recap and cleanup and trace fix, because several of them were jacked the heck up. Those old Chinese capacitors from the late 80s, early 90s can really screw your electronics up. So if you have anything with those capacitors, get them changed if you want to keep it. Otherwise, throw it in the garbage bin, because they'll be too gone. If you have old computers you're hanging on to and you have not changed the caps out, boom. Now, later Apple used organic polymer capacitors. They're the anodized aluminum coated red, white, blue, green, wild colors. They're like $6 a capacitor. They'll last a lifetime. Think of them as the gel cell of the battery world. These aluminum SMDs will last probably longer than me. These are Hitachis and Rubicons and no, Panasonic, sorry. These are Panasonics. These are Nichicon, and this is an SC, the old Radio Shack dudes from Japan. It even says SC Japan on there. So that's cool, and everything's back. I'm going to give this a final clean over. I have some chips to get the crust off of. Still a little bit of green on one. I didn't get it totally washed out. And then we'll be good to go. MacIntosh 2 CI from 1989, 60 to 30, 40 megahertz, I believe. Thank you guys for watching. I hope this helps you, and as always, I hope you learned something.